So guys, as you read that legal disclaimer in the beginning of the video, I'm actually going to show you in this chart. Well, actually in the end of the video, you'll find out why that legal disclaimer is quite important, because it's quite a complicated remedy, okay? But it's a remedy that is doable. And as you know, this video is about changing your planetary alignments. So you have, let's say, you've got a debilitated sun and you wish you can have an exalted sun. Well, you're going to get to find out how to do that. You wish you could be reborn again and have that exalted Saturn instead of the debilitated Saturn. We'll show you how to do that. And I, have seen this from other people, and my own personal experience with this. So what is it? And how you change your luck, how you change your stars. Let's say if this is you, depressed, sad. And why you're depressed and sad? Your career is not going anywhere. And why is your career not going anywhere? Because of the fact you've got quite bad placements happening in your chart. You've got the poor 10th Lord and Moon in the 8th house with all the negative aspects upon it. How will you succeed? How will you change that luck? And especially when you're going through the Mahadasha of the 8th Lord or the planet in the 8th house, and suddenly everything is havoc, suddenly everything is ups and downs through your nakshatra, through your pathas, through your divinal charts. Everything is just saying, oh, this is going to be a bad time period for you, son. How do you change that? Well, one simple word. Incorporate yourself. And that is the magic key to changing your bad planetary alignments to the new, the better planetary alignments, which is what? And this is specifically for people who are wanting to do business, who are in business. What happens is simply you mirror yourself. You simply create a new you, which is what? In legal terms, a person who opens up a corporation is creating a completely separate entity, which is, especially in the US, corporation is a separate entity that has its own rules, laws, and life, and all the cycles. So if you open up your corporation at a certain day, certain time, that means your corporation now has its own luck and its own chart. Unless you open up it under your name. Blah, blah, Inc. and LLC. And the reason why I gave that legal disclaimer is because of the fact it can get very complicated. This is why you need to talk to a lawyer and accountant to see if you should be doing this. If you can handle all the complexity of owning a corporation. Especially in the US, there's all these complicated things. C Corp, S Corp, LLC, LLP, LTD. Everything has its different meaning. Everything is more complicated, less complicated, depending on what you have. Are you just one person? Do you have just one other partner? Do you have 50 employees that you might be working with later on in life? Even not right now. All of these things require somebody who is an expert, and which I'm not. So this is why you are able to change your luck. Because what happens with this is that you are filtering the business, the luck, through this entity called corporation, and it's coming to you. So now instead of not having this and having the bad luck or the frequency, the right time come to you and then become all bad because of your aura is bad due to your planetary placements, when you create this entity, now it's becoming a filtration system for all the negative things to pass by and to get the right thing that you want to get. This is why you hear astrologers suggest, okay, well, you can buy a property, but don't buy it under your name, buy it under your wife's name. Don't buy a property under your name, open up a LLC or corporation. And this is why, and you know how I see this? When I saw people who were not supposed to be doing well, I'm like, okay, so in this Mahadasha, you're doing great and you're not doing and this is not happening. What's going on? And after I find more details, well, they have their business and they have their filtration system. They don't even realize it, that why that's happening. They go through their personal problems in life and then they want to, come to me or come to someone else. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, I don't see a problem career-wise, I'll see it this way. And I'm like, is that true? I'm like, wow, that's pretty amazing. Why? Because the fact, unknowingly, they opened up their corporation. Now, here's the thing. What if you have a good and average chart and you open up your LLC or your corporation with bad alignments? Then what happens is your average luck goes down. This is why many people who open businesses and restaurants, suddenly the restaurant is done within 6 months or 1 year or 2 years. Because when they have their good luck to open up a restaurant, well, you can't open up a restaurant without legalizing yourself, especially here. Otherwise, you get sued with putting bad food and bad all that in your customer's stomach. So this is why you need this filtration system of corporation. And so if that corporation is set at the right time, and let's say if it's having the right yogas, let's say if it's creating a very powerful Raj Yoga and Mahapurush Yoga with Saturn in the 10th house and Venus conjunct with Saturn when Venus holds the lowest degree, and your moon is in such a way that you start your corporation life with Saturn Mahadasha while it's exalted. And Mercury is also good placed in a good position. So Mercury Mahadasha of the next 17 years after 19-year period of Saturn will keep giving the good time. Well, guess what happens? This person who might have had all the bad yogas, bad position, said, well, I'm going to open up this business. And they have no clue about astrology. And they do that and they're like, wow, look at this. I made it. And then if some astrologer comes and say, oh, you'll have bad this, bad that. They're like, no, you're wrong. Everything is happening good for me. I'm making all the money in the world. Well, that's probably because their business is now providing that filtration system, that shield of all the bad negative things passing through the corporation and them just reaping the results of that, the profit from corporation. And this is one of the most important ways you can remedy your own chart, because now you're not the one who is doing that business. It's your corporation doing the business. You're simply now managing it. You're just a manager, and think of yourself as a manager. But the thing is, when people come to me for a career consultation, they want to be doing business, they want to be doing big things. And yet they still have this mind like, well, I need a secure job. Even though I have big dreams, I know those things are far away. I don't have money, and I don't even like hearing that anymore from people. Oh, I don't have money to do my business. I don't have funds to do business. Nowadays, you have something called SourceFed, and you have something called GoFundMe, where people donate to your business, and so many people have become great, successful businessmen through these websites now. So you don't have an excuse for not having money, not having funds. What it requires, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Heart and a little bit of using your brain. And when you combine these two things together, you're able to take these small little steps to having your own life, to having your own, world of that will create your money that you want. You strive for that high position, like, wow, one day I can be the CEO of this company. Well, now you have it. Now you have to show your skills, how to bring in new business, how to do these things. So if you are in that redundant job mentality because it was fed to you all these years to just do a job, while your chart is saying, look, you can actually do quite a great business, make money by sitting at home, make money while you're in your own office with your own rules. Well, that starts changing once you incorporate yourself. Because if you do it at the right time, the company will affect you. It's like a marriage. When you have a bad chart and your wife has an excellent chart, and after marriage, suddenly you have all the wealth in life, well, that's how you achieve it as well. It's a marriage between you and your corporation. So this is another way, getting the right set of planetary alignments to help you. And one thing I want to add too with this video about incorporation and LLC and all of these things. What happens is when you feel like, right, most of you who might be watching this video feel like, wow, what if I was a head of a company? What if I was an executive? What if I was a CEO? What if I was like my boss there? And the thing that happens is that when you open up a corporation or LLC, whatever you choose to open, you have to put in a title. So you put in a title as a CEO. So the minute you sign your papers and the CPA or attorney, whoever, filed these paperwork with the city and a county, you are officially a CEO now. And you know what happens with this? You will notice, and people who have done this will agree with this, that as soon as you did that, you felt like, whoa, I am somebody important. I am a big guy now. I'm a CEO. Wow, I need to take responsibility now. What happens is these people suddenly start to think like a businessman. They're like, all right, what do I do now to make this corporation actually generate money for me? What do I do now for this company as a CEO to make things happen for my life? And this is where your true skills comes into play, because guess what? Your dream just became true. You wanted to be as chairman, you wanted to be a CEO, CFO. You are now. Now show your skills. So this is a remedy, but it's a complicated remedy because there's things called double taxation in the corporation. And if you do not know, you might be taxed twice. So this is why it's very important to not just go and just do it. You need to take advice of attorney and an accountant. I do not make any moves without advice of my accountant or attorney. So this is why this is a very important remedy, but it needs to be taken care of through a legal professional or a CPA professional. Okay? So guys, this is my little video on changing your luck in astrology. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your planetary placements are, if they're good, they're bad, all of these things, check out the links here, and all my consultations are on this link below. Bye-bye.